Hi, I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. When I was a kid, we didn't have a lot of money, but I never had to wear patch pants to school because that was kind of considered to be a sign of a poor family. So we always had pants that didn't have patches on them. Might be worn pretty good, but they didn't have patches on them. Well, there were kids in my class that wore patches to school, and nobody thought it was funny that they did. You played rough, you tore your pants. And if you only had a couple pair, which was very common back in the 50s, your pants got patched. Or else you got handed down the pants from your older brothers. If you were lucky, if you got them handed down from your older sisters, that caused other problems. But in any case, if you were lucky enough to have a brother that took good care of his clothes like I did, you didn't have to wear patch pants to school. So it wasn't until about late 60s, early 70s when it became fashionable to have patched pants and kind of the hippie movement. Bell-bottom trousers were about then, and it was a thing to have bell-bottom trousers, but in the early 60s it was hard to find them. They weren't very common. Later on they became everything. The only kind of blue jeans you could buy were bell-bottoms. But in the beginning, if you wanted a pair of bell-bottom pants, you had to make them. My brother Jerry made a pair because that was the cool thing to have, is bell-bottom pants. I never did make bell-bottom pants, but I like to do embroidery. I don't know why. It's just interesting. And I didn't do the fancy picture of a bird or anything. I did geometric shapes and different colors of thread, and I thought that was kind of neat. Well, time went along, and I started buying my own pants, and I was thinking, nothing really wrong with these. I could just sew up that little tear in there and put the belt loop back on it, and they'd be good. So I got to the point where I could sew up pants and put patches on them and have them hold up quite a long time. Threading the needle can be kind of a pain. But if you have one of these little needle threaders, you can just slide that little loop right through the eye of the needle. And stuff the thread through the hole in the loop. Pull the loop out. And you've got your needle all threaded. What you have to be really careful of is where you go through multiple layers. Now, the needle will go straight up and down, no problem. But if you get into a place where you're going up onto a thickened layer, like this zipper, it'll tend to crab walk on you. And I have to be careful not to hit the zipper with a needle, because it'll break the needle. And you just lift the foot and spin the cloth around. Quite often you have to stuff something through the hole of the sewing machine there to get it to go around. And you get it lined up where you want it. Make sure it's nice and flat and everything's going to come out the way that you want it to. Then you put the foot down again. With this much cloth in there, it's already down. And you just feed it through. Now you can do it with a power if you get enough of a sewing machine to do that. This old Singer, it's got horses. The leverage is such that it'll shove a needle through an awful lot of material. And make sure you don't go off the edge. Then when the needle's still in the cloth, you can grab a hold of it and spin it, and it'll stay lined up with the seam. Okay, I've got all the stitches done. Patch is in place. Tain't pretty, but it's going to hold. I'm going to come down here and put a seam around this patch to help hold it in place. Now, will it last for 100 years? No, I'll probably wear these out another 6 months to a year, because what I do is I use them. I wear the pants when I'm doing heavy work, and I tend to shred them, so they're not going to last forever. But just doing one little patch on there, you know, it's 30 bucks for a pair of pants, and saying, well, I can't wear these anymore out in the workshop where it's just me and I'm not out in public and everybody gets to see me with patches on my pants. Oh, wait a minute, you guys will. But that's all right, you're my friends. So, I'm making an investment in my future. And I'm also passing on a skill that's gonna make it easier for you.
This video is not to be viewed by anyone under the age of 13 in the U.S. or 16 in the European Union without the express written permission of the parents or the legal guardians of the underage person. Such written permission must be on file at the local government entity in charge of enforcing the rules and regulations established by the FTC. Anyone violating these terms is admitting by default that they hold harmless the owners and operators of this channel. Any and all questions should be addressed to your local branch of the FTC.